Alright, well, TLC is in the books, and of course TLC has ended. What's going on, guys? Flatmire back again in here for another video for you guys for today, and of course for my TLC 2010 review. And overall with this pay-per-view, I thought it was, pretty good pay-per-view. There are some things I didn't like about it, but, I'm not really going to get a whole lot into that. But let's not waste any much time. Let's get right into the review. And to start things off, we had a good opener between Kofi Kingston, Jack Swagger, and Dolph Ziggler, of course, for the Intercontinental Championship. And this was a good opener, like I said. Just to name some things on what we saw in this match. We saw cool spot with Dolph Ziggler giving the fame answer onto the ladder, which I believe was to Jack Swagger, if I'm not mistaken. We see Kofi Kingston climbing, well, onto it, but, in a different position and taking out Jack Swagger. So we see everyone getting involved here, basically, and using the use of a ladder, so which is cool with that one. Also, another person who also was able to get the use of a ladder and actually help try to get the help for Dolph Ziggler was, yes, Vicky Guerrero trying to get involved and help Dolph Ziggler in this one, and yes, climbing the ladder and trying to get the belt, but she tried and, well, basically failed on that one, and that didn't happen. But at one point where Jack Swagger and Kofi Kingston were about to, try to get the Intercontinental Championship, and, pretty close, I believe Jack Swagger was able to take it off but dropped it, and Dolph Ziggler saw that it was on the floor and was able to run away with it, basically. So that's what actually helps Dolph Ziggler get the win and to retain the championship. But, it was a good opener, but the, finish was pretty weird with that, but, Dolph Ziggler does get to retain. So that's going to leave it up there. Then we get into the Divas tag team match, which is a table match, basically under tornado tag table rules. In this one we had, of course, Laycool and Beth Phoenix and Natyla. What I wanted to win was for my picks, for Laycool to get, through a table, which was my pick, and what I wanted to happen, and does that happen? And yeah, it actually does happen, which I was really happy about. What we saw in this match too, we saw Beth Phoenix take a pretty sick bump and, getting hurt almost, going onto the floor and hitting her head, landing on her head, really. So that was pretty crazy with that one. I thought that was pretty sick with that. But overall, despite what happened, Beth Phoenix and Natyla were able to put laycool through a table, which, was good on that note. But that's what happened with that. Moving on, we had a surprise matchup. Of course, Nexus getting, the payback. With Santino, Morrison, and Vladmire Koslov. Of course, it was for the tag team championships. And, this match was pretty good for what it was worth. But, basically what happened in the end was Husky Harris was able to, attack, I believe, which was Santino Marella, and the referee saw the distraction and, basically called for disqualification. Nexus comes in and attacks the champions, and we have a disqualification, and Santino and Koslov do retain, with that, after what went down with that. So that's what basically happened with that. Then we get into, which was basically one of the matches of the night, #1 contendership ladder match between Sheamus and John Morrison. This match was good. I was into this one. Basically what we saw, corkscrew, off the ladder, 6 spots in this match. We see Sheamus and John Morrison both trying to get the, contract that was high above the ring. At one point, Sheamus, went through a ladder and the ladder broke. Similar, basically, what happened, to Jeff Hardy. Yeah, I think it was Jeff Hardy, when the ladder broke in half and the ladder was, like that. So we saw something like that as well. Sheamus, doing like a, a high knee type of move, where, John Morrison's leg was caught in the ladder too. But overall, John Morrison does get the win, and yes, is your new #1 contender for the WWE Championship. So it's gonna be most likely John Morrison challenging for the WWE title, most likely at the Royal Rumble. So that's cool, and that one that John Morrison finally getting a shot to be in the main event for the championship. So that's what basically happened with that. And speaking of the championship, we have our next match here, which was pretty good in the tables match for the WWE title, Randy Orton against The Miz. And, you know, this one was pretty good. You know, excuse me, we do, you know, get to see, you know, Alex Riley, you know, interfere in this match. And, you know, actually numerous times. Also what we saw, we see, you know, the Skull Crusher finale. We see, you know, Randy Orton giving the angle slam that he's been doing lately, also trying to attempt the power bomb as well that we kept on seeing, as well as a drop kick and a scoop slam, and that's, you know, some moves by the Miz, and you know, the use of a table as well. You know, even though the table didn't break, but we still get to see the use of a table. But, you know, at one point where, you know, I think it was Alex Riley, if I'm not mistaken, was through a table. You know, it was a weird finish how this happened, but, you know, basically what happened was the Miz did get the defeat, but he basically cheated, and the referee saw the replay. The match was then restarted, and where you thought would Randy Orton would come out on top after, you know, the restart. You know, Randy Orton does get put through a table by, you know, the Miz pushing Alex Riley through a table, and the Miz yet again does get the win on that one. So, you know, that match had a, you know, weird ending. Didn't really like how it went down like that, but the Miz does get the help with Alex Riley and retains, and is still WWE Champion. So as of right now, it looks like to be the Miz versus John Morrison for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, which should be cool. You know, I'm not too sure how the match would go, but, you know, we're gonna have to wait and see. So that's what basically happens there. Right after that, we do have the Fatal 4-Way matchup, which was in the TLC for the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, we had Edge in this match, Alberto Del Rio, Kane, and Rey Mysterio. And, you know, this was a good match as well, just about as equal, you know, as Sheamus and John Morrison, you know, I would have to say there. You know, we see, you know, everyone getting involved. You know, at one point, you know, Rey Mysterio was going to win it almost, as well as Alberto Del Rio came real close to winning the championship. But, you know, what we saw, you know, the use of the ladders a lot, of course, you know, tables as well. Basically, you know, everything getting involved, and we see, you know, cool 6 spots as well. We see the seated senton onto the ladder, which was another spot that we saw. You know, at one point, Alberto Del Rio got sent to a barricade and, you know, breaking it there. So, you know, a lot of stuff going on in this match, but in the end, we get a new World Heavyweight Champion, and that is the Rated R Superstar. Edge is your new, you know, World Heavyweight Championship, champion, I should say, and I'm winning it for the 10th time, so, you know, that was my pick, and he did get to win, so that's cool on that one. And, you know, surprisingly, that wasn't the main event of the evening. What was the main event? Well, yes, it was a chairs match between John Cena and Wade Barrett. Pretty interesting to have that as a main event, I know, but that's basically what was the main event. What happened? Well, I'm just going to talk about it briefly. Briefly, you know, what we saw a side takedown, the rights and lefts as well. The use of, you know, the steel steps, back body drop on the stage by two-way barrier, that's his name, by John Cena. You know, Randy Orton is, well, fail on that one. John Cena, you know, rolling, I should say, you know, Wade Barrett to a steel steps while he was sitting on the chair, so that was another spot that was done as well. So I don't know where Randy Orton came from. You know, I'm still got in my mind around, you know, the championship and how that, you know, match ended like that, so I guess that's why I almost said Randy Orton, so I apologize for that. But anyway, that's what happened there. Um, you know, Wade Barrett, you know, trying to get, you know, the win, but that doesn't happen. In the end, John Cena gets the attitude adjustment onto Wade Barrett, and the group of steel chairs, and you know, kind of like a row of, you know, musical chairs kind of set up. So that's what basically happens there. So John Cena does get the win and defeats Wade Barrett in the main event for TLC. So that's what basically closes TLC. I know we didn't have a championship matchup for the main event, but you know, it was a different and new kind of way that they did that. But that's what basically, you know, closed the show, and that is the end of the review. So let me know what you guys thought on what you did like or didn't like. Drop your comments down there below. Love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. And as always, I will talk to you guys later on. Peace.